Nvidia, what the hell is this? I had to wake up earlier than usual this morning, which in itself is already a massive inconvenience for me. Then I drove 45 minutes to the closest computer shop to me, because as a rational human being, I assumed that anybody that had a normal job and could actually afford to buy a $700 graphics card wasn't going to be queuing outside a shop on a Thursday for one. I was right. I got to the shop and there were only 3 people in front of me. Yet I still have this. This is all I have to show for my hour and a half of queuing. They had a grand total of 2 RTX 3080s in that shop, 2 of the weird Zotac version. Across the street, there's another computer shop called Memory Express. They didn't even have a single one. So that means for the computer shops in Vancouver, they had 2 RTX 3080s available on launch day. What the hell is the point of having a set launch day that you build hype for over a month and then you don't have anything for people? I really hate paper launches. So what I'm gonna do for today's very informal video is we're gonna peruse various sources like Twitter and Reddit to see how many people actually manage to get their hands on an RTX 3080, even a pre-order for launch day. And then I'm gonna tell you about what the guy at the shop told me what the reason was for this shortage. And then finally, we're just gonna take a good minute laughing at people who panic sold their RTX 2080 Ti's, because you guys done messed up. Now today's video is just an opinion piece. I'm just having a chat because I'm a bit pissed off about all of these paper launches. It's not just Nvidia. Nvidia does it, they did it now, clearly, but Intel does it all the time, and even AMD's guilty of it. I tried to get my hands on a launch day Ryzen 7 3700X. I spent like 2-3 weeks beforehand trying to pre-order at multiple places. I still had to wait 3 weeks after the damn launch to be able to get my hands on one. Timmy Joe recently had a nightmarish experience getting his hand on a 10th gen Intel CPU around the launch period. And the reason that as a YouTuber you want to get your hands on this stuff really soon is so that you can make content about it while the wave of interest is still carrying on over it, and you just can't get your hands on this stuff. It's the same thing with this 3000 launch, which I actually think they're taking it to a whole new level here. Because like I said, the 2 computer shops that service Vancouver had 2 of these graphics cards between them. Now maybe this is just some massive tech industry conspiracy against Canadians, right? Maybe that's why we got 2 for Vancouver. But I don't think that's the case. If you go onto Twitter, Jay's 2 cents actually recently tweeted asking how many people actually were able to get their hands on a 3080 today. I'm sorry, Jay, that I'm using your tweet for content. I hope you don't mind. But it's just really interesting to see all of the responses. So there are a bunch of people talking about how they got up early this morning and sat priming their fingers for 6 a.m. Pacific time, I think the launch was. And then like 2 minutes beforehand, they just started viciously fingering the refresh button until something came up. And at 6, it just went from notify me to out of stock. So either a bunch of bots just bought all of them, or there were just none of them available to begin with, which I'm honestly thinking they just made a bunch to send to tech YouTubers and that was it. I don't know if they really exist. I mean, obviously they really exist, but they're just very limited in stock. Further down, there was somebody talking about how they're in the Nvidia Discord page, and a bunch of people did the same thing, and over 100 people in the chat there were trying to get their hands on one. Not one of them could apparently get their hands on one of them. Now, this is Twitter information. Whether or not it's true, I don't know. Finally, there was somebody that said that they had multiple pages open, so they had like Newegg, Amazon, Best Buy open, refreshed all of them at 6 a.m., and all of them had the exact same situation. It went from just notify me or pre-order or whatever to out of stock. So the online retailers, they just vanished immediately. Now, I don't know about shops like Micro Center or Best Buy or anything like that, so if you live near one of those, let me know if you could actually get your hands on one of these cards. I hate how sweaty I get. This light is so damn hot. But yeah, so the only actual information that I could get from the guy at the shop where I bought this beautiful piece of paper from was he told me that the reason that nobody has any stock available was an indeterminate amount of time before the launch, Nvidia actually recalled the cards to flash new firmware on them. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, because why did those two Zotac cards not have that issue? Or did they just have faster shipping? I don't know if I 100% believe this, but the alternative to that is that Nvidia has been planning this launch for, what, 2 years now? How long does the development cycle of these graphics cards take? And the entire company just forgot to make any of them. Like, I don't understand it. I kind of picture Jensen just waking up screaming in the middle of the night one night going, oh, we've got these awesome graphics cards coming out and we forgot to make any of them. Oh, we do this every year. Now, at the end of the day, the one thing that really comforts me about this whole situation, and that kind of makes it worth it for me, that makes me not mind that I had to wait an hour and a half in a queue, is at least I didn't panic sell a 2080 Ti for less than half its value. If you're one of those people, you really screwed up here. And the biggest reason that you screwed up so badly is because you bought into the hype machine. So please, if there's one thing that we take away from this paper launch and panic selling of 2080 Ti's and all of this ridiculousness, is don't buy into the hype. I know it's exciting when Jensen gets up on stage and tickles your fanny with a spatula, but it's cherry-picked information. It's never as good as they say that it's gonna be. So whether it's an Nvidia product or an Intel product or an AMD product, don't pre-order it, just wait. If you have a 2080 Ti, even if you have a GTX 1050 Ti, just wait to see what kind of information is gonna be about these cards, and then everything's gonna be fine. Then it doesn't even matter if it's this ridiculous paper launch. We as the consumers should stop buying into this crap because, you know, it's the same thing with E3 when that was still a thing that happened. Games companies would get on stage and they'd show an hour-long pre-rendered cinematic that would look amazing. But then you'd pre-order the game and you'd essentially just get like a bowl of lukewarm dishwater. And that's your fault and you deserve it because you shouldn't have pre-ordered it because the cinematic was shiny. Don't pre-order consoles either, it's a bad idea, and we need to stop doing it. Everybody says that every time we get disappointed by a launch, and then the next launch, we do the exact same thing again. So we just need to stop. Just stop doing it. Stop buying into the hype. And with that, it brings me to the end of a pretty pointless video, but I just wanted to air my grievances. As you can see, I'm all hot and bothered and sweaty and angry, and I feel like I want to share this with the community because I feel like a lot of you feel this way. So again, let me know in the comment section below if you were actually able to get your hands on one of these cards. So if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one, and until the next one, bye-bye.